Do you remember Gamefly? Have you ever used Gamefly? I used it maybe once or twice. I actually bought a game from them one time because I liked it. It was Time Shift. But I got curious. I haven't heard anything about this website in a very long time, and I wanted to see if it still existed and maybe try to dig into who's still using it, why they're using it, and what they offer that makes them stay relevant if they are. So let's get into it. So right here we have the Gamefly website, and it looks like you still do free trials. They offer PS5, all the they actually do Blu-rays now. I didn't know that. Yeah, you can even rent movies from Gamefly. So Gamefly is not just for games anymore. What do they got for new releases? I don't know how. Well, I mean, they got God of War. It looks like they offer a pretty decent amount of things. Whereas last time I checked it, I don't know if you could do, you know, movies and all that stuff. So that's pretty cool. A 30-day free trial. And one rental at a time is $9.50 per month. For 3 months. Two rentals at a time, $13.50 for 3 months. And you can see, how that goes. Let's check out a little more of the website here. It looks like you can shop. It says Gamefly now sells consoles, controllers, games, and collectibles for gamers. So since the last time I've used this has changed a lot. You could not buy, accessories and stuff like that. You could buy the games if you liked them, but that was about it. They got controllers. I mean, it's just like anything you could think of. Even little arcades. I might have to actually check this website out. I mean, I don't know how vast their offerings are, but it seems like they do a decent amount. What about collectibles? A lot of Funko Pops. I mean, some of this stuff's pretty cool, though. All right, well, let's see what we got for. Can you actually? Oh, it looks like you can buy new releases. So it looks like it's just. Yes, you can rent games, but it looks like a video game store too. Now the thing is somebody going to use this other than Walmart, Amazon? I don't know. They're doing something right, I guess. Right here it says Gamefly's rental business now belongs to a media wholesaler. You may have forgotten about Gamefly, but someone else hasn't. The video game rental subscription service has a new owner. Alliance Entertainment, the physical media distributor, one of the largest in the US, has purchased Gamefly for undisclosed amount and plans to operate it as an independent subsidiary. So Gamefly has been bought by a different company. That's interesting, and that might explain some of why things are a little different. Thanks to the acquisition, Alliance's Gamefly customers will have access to a more extensive catalog of games to buy and rent. The two will also sell a wider variety of gaming-related products, including controllers, headsets, consoles, and everything we saw previously. Gamefly's sale comes at a time when fewer and fewer people are renting video games. Well, yeah, because you can just buy them digitally. It's a lot more convenient. People don't want to wait. A lot of people do still want to wait, though. They want to test the game out before they buy it, and that's fine. But some people are just like, I'll just buy it. Or there's, they have free trials now. PlayStation Plus, has their new thing now where a lot of the new games, or not just new games, but games have trials. So, I mean, the whole business of renting games and physical games is obviously on its way out. So, you know, it is what it is here. It was only last year that Redbox exited the market. Gamefly itself has seen its fortunes wax and wane in recent years. In 2018, the company shut down its game streaming service after EA bought the technology and powered it. So Redbox, I guess that why you don't see games? I noticed that you don't see games in the Red boxes anymore. So I guess they stopped doing games altogether. Interesting. I went to Facebook and I asked a group I'm in if they use Gamefly, and maybe why or what benefits they get. But we'll read some of the replies. What I did was I asked, does anyone here still use Gamefly? If so, do you mind telling me why? Is it more convenient? Does it figure out to being cheaper for you in the long run? Maybe you just like to have a nice rotation of games. Just curious if anyone is using it and what benefits you get from it. And the first reply I got was, I get it every now and then. Usually, I like to have them send me things I'm not sure about spending $60 on. So, right there, one of the reasons people were still using this, and the camera looks like shit, is because they're iffy about spending a ton of money on a game and they just want to rent it. That's the simplest answer you could probably get and the most obvious. This one says, I still use it since I'd rather rent and try before I buy. Again, the same, thing. Also, you can get discounts on games if you want to keep it. I purchased Sonic Frontiers for about $40. That's not bad. Going through Gamefly sounds like a pretty decent idea if you can get discounts. Brand new for my kid. Overall, Gamefly has been worth keeping for the time I have used it. Okay, well that's that. Yeah, if you can get games for that game just came out and you can get it for $40, that makes sense. Also, the last reply here, I signed up for a free trial for Ratchet and Clank because I don't want to pay $70. I was going to do it for God of War 2, but found the $10 cashback thing from Honey, you know. But that free trial for the month was pretty useful. Even if I had to pay the 1 month, it would have been cheaper and worth it. I usually only play things once anyway. So basically, if you want to try games out before you buy them and you don't really plan on going back to games that you've already have, Gamefly seems like a good rotation of, okay, give me this new game, let me play it, finish it, move on, and the circle continues. Now, I am curious, what do they have available for consoles? I'm going to go ahead and guess that it's probably not any easier to find a PS5 or a Series X on here than it is anywhere else. Let's find out. Well, we got a bunch of Nintendo Switch Lites, arcade cabinets. I didn't expect that. That's cool. An OLED, a regular Switch, but I don't think you or me see the new consoles on here. I didn't expect to see them. Let's see what happens if we search for one. Let's search for PS5. Okay, this looks like bundles, but there's really no button for buying it or purchasing it. I don't know what we expected. Let's try Xbox Series X. All right, let's see what we have here. They have it listed, but once again, I don't see a way to purchase it. I don't know what I expected, really. Well, I expected them not to have them. I will say, though, I have been noticing Walmart getting more PS5s in recently and some Series X's, so maybe things are turning around for the better. I'm still curious, though, what would make somebody choose Gamefly over Amazon or Walmart? Because if you're buying the games, I guess maybe Gamefly has a good enough discount that it's worth it. Or you just don't want to buy from Amazon. Some people don't want to support Amazon. Some people don't want to support Walmart. Then Gamefly is maybe a good place for you to go as an alternative way of purchasing your games. Here's an article. Gamefly review. Is the subscription still worth it in 2022? I mean, that's kind of the question we have here today. So, let's find out what it says. Top features. Rent games and movies via mail. Obviously. Affordable subscription. Includes console and PC games. Sprawling collection including latest titles. Queue request, dedicated app, and Pan USA coverage. So, is Gamefly legit? Obviously it's legit. It's been around for a long time. We know how Gamefly works. Is Gamefly a subscription still worth it? Gamefly's been around for some time now, the only video game rental service out there. They successfully survived the onslaught of battle royales, Animal Crossings. I don't know if that's supposed to be League of Legends or just haha. Dota, I'm pretty sure it's League of Legends, and a lot more, to still deliver video games via mail to a large enough subscriber base worth bragging. Here's how. It offers a 30-day free trial. They can rent 2 video games over the period. Once that's done, you have to choose between 2 subscription options. $15.95 a month or $22.95 a month. Now, $15.95 a month is like what Netflix's middle subscription number, where you get like basic SD and like 2 TVs. So maybe if you're just really into games and you like the thought of having a subscription for those games, maybe $16 a month. That's not that much to you, and you don't have to go anywhere to get games. That's pretty convenient sounding. Although it does say, now this is where things do get a bit awry.
Awry.
Awry. Anyway, especially if you're on the single game Gamefly subscription, returning the game will take a day or two to actually happen, which is quite obvious. Once Gamefly receives a game you returned, they will proceed with the next available game you want to rent based on your chosen queue. So add another 2 to 3 business days there, and you're at about 5 days in between renting the first one. So even though Gamefly does mention unlimited rentals, it does not work that way. You can at least rent 5 to 6 games a month if you're in luck, but that's still affordable. So it seems like you send the game, takes about 2 days. They get it, and they send you a game, takes 2 to 3 days. So it's about a week. I mean, unless you're really hard up to play a game now, that's not terrible, I guess. The game availability seems like something that is still kind of a problem. You can play any game you want in your queue. 10 games are in the minimum number you queue up, but expect the most popular games to have low availability until after, of course, they are not popular anymore. So to me, that is a big downfall. It's things like that you would think would hurt a company that has this business model, but apparently that the newer games, isn't affecting it that much, but it probably doesn't help any. One cool thing, though, is they do GameCube, Nintendo DS and 3DS, PS2, PS3, all the PlayStations, PS Portable, Game Boy Advanced, Xbox One, 360. So basically, I don't see the Wii in there, though. But if you have those consoles, and a lot of people do, you can still use Gamefly. Now here, something we've been looking for is an advantage. Gamefly does have a huge advantage over most other video game renting/streaming platforms. It is perhaps the only place where you can check out the best GameCube games ever released and other games for outdated platforms. So that is a big thing. If you have an older console and you can come to Gamefly to still get games, that's a big deal. It's hard to find, and a lot of places charge a lot for those old games. So if you're still able to rent them and play them and enjoy them, or maybe even purchase them from this website and they're not overcharging you, that's a pretty big deal. Some pros and cons. Cheapest way to play old and new games. That's pretty good. Reliable. Your game will be delivered if you can get the one you want, that is. Large catalog of games, a handy app, which I don't really care much about apps, but maybe I would if I used Gamefly, and no late fees. I guess you can play the game as long as you need to play it. Now the cons. Take more than 5 days to ship the next game, which that's kind of up to you whether or not that's an issue. Latest titles are hard to get, poor customer support. The biggest thing I can see against Gamefly is the newest games are super hard to get a hold of. This article comes to a conclusion that says, should you get Gamefly subscription in 2022? And it says, in my opinion, Gamefly is still worth it in 2022, and you should get the subscription if you're a gamer. I don't like the word gamer. I don't know. I just never have. And you easily play through 3 games a month. At that rate, even the 2 game subscription's a bargain. If you don't mind playing through games that don't make it to the top just to find that hidden gem. You want to play Nintendo games that somehow stick to their price tag 5+ years on, like Breath of the Wild. That's a pretty good thing to have there. You want to get your hands on GameCube titles that are too rare to miss out on, but too expensive to buy. Like I said earlier, some of those Nintendo games were ridiculously expensive, and if GameFly is offering them for cheaper, even to rent, it's still a way to play them. Right here it says affordability is the real reason you should get a Gamefly subscription. With top games today averaging around $40, this is the cheapest way you can play them. It's even more so for Nintendo classics, and there are no late fees. So if you like a game, keep it with you, and you'll be charged at the next billing along with an automatic discount. So if you keep the game longer, you get a little bit of a discount on it. Is that what that means? That's not bad. Right here it says Gamefly revenue is 17.0 million annually. After extensive research and analysis, Zipia's data, science team found the following key financial metrics. Gamefly has 70 employees, and the revenue per employee ratio is 242,857. Gamefly peak revenue was 17.0 million in 2021. So if Gamefly's peak revenue was in 2021, does that mean that last year they did better than they ever did before? All these many years later, they got to be doing something right, unless I'm misunderstanding something here. Well, I mean, even on Gamefly's website, you see a keep game discount. You like the game, you get a discount. Now, you might think to yourself, well, it's not that much of a discount if I'm paying monthly to be a part of this thing. But if you think of the game price and the monthly price as 2 separate entities, it's still cheaper, I guess, to pay so much a month and have a rotation of games. Oh, one sticks out, you like it, the rotation keeps going, you pay. I guess it works out. I guess so, But it seems like they still offer a good enough service that people come to it. I don't know how much. I don't know how many people use it. Maybe we can find out real quick. Right here's a quick little thing. It says, is Gamefly still popular? Gamefly is among the most popular video game rental companies and competes with big names like PlayStation and Game Pass. It also ranks among the best value subscription boxes for games and movies. You gotta remember, it lumps movies in now. The service has been in business for almost 2 decades and has a sound reputation with over 400,000 subscribers. Now, 400,000 subscribers isn't a lot, right? Like, how many subscribers does Game Pass have? Right here it says Game Pass has 18 million subscribers. So somehow, with those smaller numbers, they're still able to stay afloat. So I think what we learned here is that Gamefly isn't just Gamefly, it's Game and Movie Fly. It seems I'm actually kind of interested in it myself now. The discount sounds good, which I think you always maybe got a discount. And I do remember, I don't know if they still do it, but when I bought a game that I liked, they actually sent me the jewel case. Now, it's also probably good if you're into physical games and you want to have a collection of games. Me personally, I don't care either way. Whatever game, if I get it cheap, I kind of lean more toward digital though. But it seems like it's still a pretty decent service, and if you're really into games, you might just like to say, I have this, and I get games sent to me all the time, and I get to try games. But for a person like me, I have Game Pass, and I have the highest thing of PlayStation Plus. That's a pretty good rotation of games right there. So I'm not exactly sure how Gamefly is competing with that, except for maybe it offers the older games, it offers the physical games, and a discount. But then again, Game Pass, the games are technically free even though you're paying. Somehow it must be evening out. I don't know. Right here's a Reddit thread. How long until Gamefly declares bankruptcy? And somebody, I worry about this every year. This person seems to think they're doing fine. They sell arcade cabinets. I think they're doing fine. There's a lot of defending Gamefly, people thinking they're doing fine. I don't take much stock in what random people say on Reddit because I don't know what their credentials are. But, I mean, you can go to Reddit and you can find things like that. You can find it. I can't find really a definite answer, though, of how Gamefly is really doing financially. I don't know. But it seems like when you look it up, the biggest comparison is digital versus physical. People like Gamefly for the physical games. They like that they sell the arcade cabinets. They like that they have the old games, and I think it really just it's subjective. The value in Gamefly and Game Pass and all this is subjective to you, to me, to everyone. So I don't think there's definitely a real answer as to one specific reason why Gamefly is still around and still seems to be doing well, other than people like it. People still like it and they find value in it. And I think that's about it. That's all you need to know. And as long as people are enjoying the company and enjoying the service, there's going to be enough people supporting it to keep it afloat, at least for now. So hopefully this answered some questions you may have had about Gamefly. I guess it answered some of mine. I still would like to know more, but I don't think I'm going to be able to find, specific things. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you are the one person that watched this video, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. It means a lot to me, and I'll see you in the next one.